How are CI/CD pipelines deployed for Express applications? Imagine a world where updating your backend code happens smoothly without any downtime or manual effort. That's what deploying continuous integration and continuous deployment pipelines does for Express applications. These pipelines automate the process of building, testing, and deploying your backend code, making sure everything runs reliably and quickly. When you work with Express, a popular framework for building REST APIs with Node.js. Setting up CI/CD pipelines helps keep your development smooth and your releases consistent. First, your Express application's code lives in a version control system like GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. This acts as the main place where all code changes are stored. When developers push new code, it triggers the pipeline to start working automatically. The first step in the pipeline is usually installing dependencies using tools like npm or yarn. These tools fetch all the packages your app needs to run smoothly. Then, the pipeline runs automated tests, which can include unit tests or integration tests, often using frameworks like Jest or Mocha. These tests check if your API endpoints and server-side logic work as expected. Next, the code goes through linting and quality checks to catch any style issues or potential bugs. Many Express applications use Docker to package the app into containers. Docker creates a consistent environment across development, testing, and production. A Docker file defines how to build the container, including installing Node.js, copying your source code, setting environment variables, and specifying the start command. Building a Docker image ensures your app runs the same way everywhere. Once the image is built, it can be pushed to a container registry like Docker Hub or Amazon Elastic Container Registry. This makes deployment easier and more reliable. After the build and test phases are successful, the deployment process kicks in. The pipeline can deploy your app automatically to cloud platforms like Heroku, Amazon Web Services, or Microsoft Azure. If you're using Kubernetes, the pipeline updates the deployment with new container images, often using Helm charts or YAML files to define how the app runs. This includes setting the number of replicas, auto-scaling rules, and ingress configurations. Some pipelines include manual approval steps before deployment, giving you control over when updates go live. Popular tools for managing these pipelines include GitLab Continuous Integration and Deployment, or GitHub Actions. These tools let you write configuration files in YAML to define each stage of the process. Jenkins is another common automation server that can handle building, testing, and deploying Node.js and Express apps. It often works with Docker to streamline container creation. Platforms like Heroku also offer pipelines that automate build and releases phases, making deployment straightforward with minimal configuration. Environment variables play a big role in managing different settings for development, staging, and production. They store sensitive data like database URL, API keys, and port numbers without hard-coding them into your code. This way, your app can behave correctly in each environment without needing code changes. Pipelines also include stages for security scanning and code quality checks, helping catch vulnerabilities early before deployment. When deploying, the pipeline pushes the Docker image to a registry or directly updates the cloud service or Kubernetes cluster. Deployment files like Kubernetes manifests or platform-specific configurations tell the system how to run your app, including how many instances to start and how to route traffic. Monitoring tools keep an eye on your application's health and performance after deployment. If something goes wrong, rollback mechanisms can revert to a previous stable version quickly, minimizing downtime. For example, a typical flow might be: a developer pushes code to GitHub, which triggers GitHub Actions to install dependencies, run tests, and build a Docker image. The image gets pushed to a registry, and the deployment job updates the Kubernetes cluster with the new image. The app then becomes accessible, and monitoring tools track its status. This automated process saves time, reduces errors, and ensures your backend with Express is always up to date and reliable. By setting up CI/CD pipelines this way, backend development with Express becomes more efficient and less prone to manual mistakes. It allows developers to focus on building features, while automation handles the repetitive tasks of testing and deployment. This approach helps keep your APIs and server-side logic running smoothly, making back-end development accessible and straightforward for everyone involved.